Hi everyone, it's Paul here, and today we're gonna do a bit of a different kind of video, mainly brought about by some recent happenings in the Minecraft community and some words from Mojang that we've probably all seen recently. So this is a video about the future of Minecraft PvP, competitive gameplay, combat, and all that, because at the moment it's currently not doing so well, but let's remember that Minecraft as a game and its combat has been around for quite a while. The game is coming up to being 10 years old at some point in the near future, so bear that in mind. And a lot of competitive games, the competitive version of games doesn't necessarily hang around that long, so it's still doing well compared to your general game lifespan. Okay, so obviously people are not too pleased with the original combat changes that Mojang made in 1.9, just generally, like the overall competitive scene, as you know. But I've been making a list of things here anyway. So recently, DocM77, who is a very big Minecraft YouTuber, he was part of the group Mindcrack, who invented UHC, as well as some other groups. I think he's been in Hermitcraft and things like that as well. So DocM went to the Minecraft Creator Summit this year, which is some kind of event with Mojang as well. And he posted on Twitter that the combat system in Minecraft is going to be getting an overhaul in a future update. It's not going to be for a couple updates yet. Mojang would like to get, this is what they've said themselves, Mojang would like to get a lot of feedback about the combat before they make any changes. So this is good. This is very good for the competitive community. The fact that they want to get lots of feedback, and you can actually do that by contacting them. They have a suggestions page, I believe. So I have a few ideas for what I would personally suggest combat. Now a lot of people just said straight up, revert the combat to how it used to be, 1.7, 1.8 style. You know, just the classic thing. And that is what made Minecraft combat so popular originally, is that it wasn't really like any other game. There wasn't really another game with combat quite like that, and people started to really enjoy it. It's quite an addictive combat style, as I'm sure you're aware, if you've played a lot of it yourself. But the thing is, when the combat update, the official combat update that Mojang made in 1.9, when it was released, they made the game actually have pretty similar combat to lots of other games. Specifically, I remember Jeb saying things about it, you know, making it more like a conventional combat in a game. The thing was, that made the combat like a lot of other things, and it took that unique part out of it and made it, in my opinion, quite a bit more dull. Not just the speed of it, the momentum or any of that, just it's too similar to a lot of other games. So why would you play Minecraft combat if it's just the same as lots of other combat games which have actually been optimized for combat? Because let's be real here, Minecraft is not optimized for combat. It's a building game, a survival game, mostly a single player game. That's its most popular way that it's played, or at least in a survival multiplayer building type of server game. But the thing is, that combat, it really caught a lot of people's imaginations. It was great. It's a lot of fun, and it actually offers a lot of variables. It's got a higher skill ceiling than people think. There's lots of different things you can do that do make quite a big difference, and lots of little techniques and things you can learn. But there are a few things that I don't like about the old combat as well. I think the first thing is that click speed should not be relevant. It's not as relevant as people think. Like, pretty much 6 clicks per second is almost the same as 12 and up. It doesn't really make much of a difference, to be completely honest. There's lots of tests of this. You can try it out yourself. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. And the things I think they could change in the future combat update would be just straight up holding down click to attack. If you hold down click, it attacks. Like, other combat games. Sure, that takes some of the fun out of it, but then Mojang won't end up with loads of people that have played their game in like 50 years' time who have severe arthritis or anything, because it's not really good to just be clicking your mouse all the time. It's not good for your mouse either. Poor mice everywhere, used by Minecraft PvPers. So it's a possible suggestion in just making it hold down click to attack. This also then removes a certain amount of hackers because it disables auto-clicking. It renders it completely useless. And you'd have hold down click to attack, and it would attack at like a preset speed, quite a fast speed, so that it keeps the exact same feel as the classic Minecraft combat, which most of us love. The second idea I had and this is all looking at it in a way to make the future of Minecraft PvP actually competitive and make it optimized for competitive level gaming, like esports level, make it comparable to a proper competitive game. So the second thing would be to make knockback a server-side packet that can't be modified by the player's client itself, so that you would completely remove all delayed knockback, any kind of client modifications that would make knockback smaller, because knockback is a huge part of combat and in melee fighting in Minecraft. Basically, if you get knocked back, you're in a bad position, because then people can combo you more. So knockback actually means a lot in 1.8 and below PvP. If someone takes less knockback or delayed knockback, it's quite an advantage, because they can get more hits on you before they actually are knocked out of your range. So that was the second idea. I don't know how realistically that could actually be implemented or achieved, having knockback server-side, but most other things are server-side with PvP, and you don't really feel much of a delay. Obviously your hits are server-side, and if you've got anywhere under like 150 ping to a server, your hits usually feel pretty instant, because that's still a fraction of a second. So the knockback being server-side as well, I think would be a good idea, if it's possible. Okay, the next thing Mojang could implement would be making it so that a non-vanilla client cannot join or log into any competitive PvP servers. So these PvP servers could set up some kind of thing where they would immediately detect any changes to your client, or Mojang would. There was an old thing in the Minecraft client, I don't know if it's still there, called meta-inf, which is a file which would stop Minecraft from launching. It would immediately crash if anything inside it was changed, which is why you had to remove that if you sort of like put any mods or anything in it back in the day. I don't know if that's still a thing actually at all. I think you had to do that, like if you put Optifine in, you'd have to delete that one file. Obviously then people could delete that file if they found out what it was, but yeah, basically make it so that modified clients cannot join competitive fighting servers. It could work, I don't know. Because the biggest problem with Minecraft combat currently is not boredom. Not that it's got boring, not that the combat changed or anything like that. Hackers. Because hacking will kill the combat in Minecraft if it continues. Some of the main problems here being that hacking is too easy in Minecraft. All you have to do is download like a different client, or some I think you just inject into Minecraft when it's running, so it's completely undetectable. And that is way too easy. But the thing here is that anyone who does cheat in Minecraft, they presumably enjoy playing the game, right? No one plays in a game if they don't enjoy it. Even if it is, maybe they only enjoy it because they're cheating, I don't know. But those people still have Minecraft accounts and they still are playing the game, so they must like it to some extent. But the problem is, the more hackers that people who are legitimate encounter, the less likely they're going to want to play it at all. They're going to get fed up, they're going to be tired of being cheated on. So if everyone quits because they keep seeing hackers and more hackers come along, it's like just going to end up with cheaters facing cheaters, so even they won't have an advantage anymore, and so they'll all get fed up, they'll all quit, all the legitimate people will be gone, hackers won't have fun anymore, and they'll completely destroy the multiplayer fighting combat system of the game. Everyone will hate it. So it's a huge problem. If you cheat, you don't have to tell anyone, but just stop, because otherwise you won't be able to play anymore. There'll be no games left. You'll destroy the game as a whole, unless that's what you want to do, in which case, well done, it's working. So that brings me on to a tweet that Simon from Hypixel has just put up recently, and he said, in the last 24 hours, there have been 3,700 new players joining the server, and 3,900 bans. That is actually terrible. Watchdog is a great anti-cheat, by the way, so obviously that's a really good sign that Watchdog has caught that many people and banned them. But how sad is that? One day, and more people have been banned than have actually new players have joined the server. That's actually really depressing, and it shows the way that the game can go if it doesn't get some help from Mojang, because something needs to be done about the hacker problem, and Hypixel are doing a really good job. Watchdog is actually a very good anti-cheat, probably one of the best on any of the servers. It can't catch everything, because everything that they change it to catch, then the people that make the clients will work around it. Just a sad truth. So if Mojang can do something about that as well in their combat update, hopefully they'll realise that hacking is a big problem of it, then maybe that would improve things. If people actually can't cheat, then maybe the community would grow again. Another thing that I think has not helped Minecraft Combat is there are a few things in it that are actually just very annoying. I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for this, for saying it, but I think, honestly, rods are hilariously awful in combat for Minecraft. Not because they're not efficient, they're very efficient at what they do, but I think the whole mechanic, and remember, this was never a vanilla Minecraft feature, this was added in servers back a long time ago, that rods would give collision to a player. I think that whole mechanic is laughable, it's just silly, it's ridiculous. So all you're doing with the rod is you're getting the first hit by hitting someone with a rod before you actually hit them, because you can do it from a longer range, as everyone knows, and that helps you to get combos. You can rod people between hits, get more hits on them. But the thing is, that's an incredibly annoying combat system. It's just not fun. Because what you're doing, if you have two people fighting that are both good at rodding, is they're just going to be strafing backwards and forwards, side to side, trying to get the first hit with a rod so that they can finally go in, which is very passive. It's not fun combat mechanic, and I don't think it's really that enjoyable. So all it is trying to get the first hit, right? If neither player has a rod, trying to get the first hit is just about strafing out of the way of your opponent, reading them and trying to go where they're not going to aim. It's that simple. It's a lot more fun, it's straight, it's direct. I think it's a lot more enjoyable. Obviously they could already just remove that feature in Minecraft Combat anyway, but I think that's why a lot of people end up leaving, is because Minecraft Combat, although most of it's incredibly fun, I would say that side of it is very annoying and pretty boring. Just rodding all the time is dull. It's not a fun combat method. I think people would get used to not having anything like that in the end. And you could still do it with a bow. You just have to do a little bow shot beforehand, except then you run a risk. See, it's a risk versus reward kind of combat mechanic then, which I think would be pretty interesting and would work well. So overall, I think my idea on how Mojang could save combat would be to put some effort in to stop the cheater problem, put some safety nets in their network, or however the servers want to do it, to make it really hard for people to actually hack in the game, because at the moment it's ridiculously easy for people to modify their game to get advantages, and there's only so much the server can do to really stop that at the moment, so Mojang could help out. And the other thing would be to make it largely like the combat used to be, just change it so that you only hold down the mouse button, to attack, like lots of other games, I think it wouldn't take that much fun out of it. It would still be fast-paced, still be, you know, everything else the same apart from just holding down your mouse. Which, I think that would work. And then obviously make knockback and things more predictable. And level the playing field by making everything just even, and then you have a more competitive PvP atmosphere. If everyone's even on the playing field, if lag doesn't make a huge difference to fighting, and perhaps if they implement transfer packets as well, then you could have a really good, fun, competitive game in Minecraft. It could be taken seriously. You could have proper tournaments, big scale PvP games, not to mention the fact that big servers would be able to add all of the new update stuff as well if the combat could be fixed. Because 1.9 and up PvP, it's not terrible. It's okay, it's fine. It's playable. Maybe not on a fun competitive level, but it's just too similar to a lot of other games, and it lacks the unique thing that original combat made. So anyway, thanks for watching this one. It's just a bit of a discussion video with some random footage in the background, which I'll choose when I put this to it. Let me know your ideas in the comments. How would you, if you could decide for Mojang to fix the combat, apart from just straight up revert it to what it used to be, what would you suggest? How would you make it so that Minecraft combat could be taken seriously in a competitive fashion, as well as being as fun as it deserves to be? Any ideas, put them down there. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a dislike if you think it's a load of rubbish. Subscribe if you feel like it and you want to see some PvP Minecraft videos and other junk. And thanks for watching and listening. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope I can hear some ideas from you. Bye.